Hey everybody, welcome to the Dutchman's Wood Shack. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Um, Couple of things. I chose today be light on to dust my right now my lungs are taking a beating with it. Even with the mask on, I have a breathing problem. But anyway, a couple of things I did today. I posted earlier. I was experimenting with different ways to fill in cracks in a bowl or whatever wood project you're working on. And I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but I like doing it. It was kind of fun. So, um, and I'm not worried about ruining anything because it's just wood. It isn't like I drove a car off a cliff or something, right? So, anyway, couple of things I talk about. I thought I'd make Tuesdays the Tool Time Tuesday. It's also Taco Tuesday, so we can also talk food too. What's your favorite tacos? Or where's your taco place? Problem is, I have a tendency to go get tacos and burritos. So, anyway, so I think a couple, 4 or 5 days ago, I might have showed you guys this, but okay, so this is one of the better tools that Craftsman came out with. Um, I like it. I think it was a good idea, to be honest with you. Um, this is a combination. I don't know, a knuckle buster and vice grips. I love it. So you can just pop them off. And this thing, okay, will stay in one spot. Isn't gonna move. Once you get it hooked up to a certain point, it'll tighten up. It won't move. That's been the biggest problem. It's not going to move one way or the other. So you're not going to. It won't be hard to um, let's just say ream these little pieces in here. Now I use these for under the table for doing a lot of faucet work or sink work. When the only thing I can tell you is if you're going to use something like this, make sure you put tape on it or something. You're not going to ream the chrome, especially where it's going to show. I did that once and I regret that forever. So, who do we got out there? Hey, Herbs, what's going on? Hey, Bob. Oh, Robert, Bobbert. How you guys doing tonight? Nice to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Yeah, I thought maybe everybody ditched me from John and Connie and Robin. The funny part about it is I can't get through the Connie anymore either. For some reason, I don't know whether I have to join. I'm a subscriber, but I don't know if I have to join in order to get their shows anymore. Kind of sad. I can't I can't text anybody, so I guess I can watch it without leaving a message till after it's done. That's what I usually do it anyways. But anyway, I was thought I'd talk about tools a little bit. Simple stuff right now. Next week, next Tuesday, I might talk about saws. I'm going to bring out everything I got in my arsenal. And some of the new stuff that's out there too. So you might be surprised at what I might break down and buy. Who knows? Okay, so this is one of the inventions that Craftsman Tools came out with for 2014, 15, something like that. I actually had something to do with this, believe it or not. Vacation. I was on a Craftsman demo in 2014. And in 2015, they came out with this. So with the demo we were doing were similar. They were giving ideas and all that kind of stuff. It was a roundtable discussion for a while. And then we do tools. And here's another one. Now, I've used this on occasion. I broke the blade on it though. I don't know how that happened, but well, there's one problem with this idea though. That's a plastic top on it. I would have preferred a steel top or a metal top or something, but it's holding up. It works. I've used it's pretty sharp too. I've used it on a number of occasions for cutting certain things. It's kind of like it's like you're using a tin snips basically. So that was pretty good. Now that's Craftsman made about the same. I think it was like a couple years before. This one not so good. All right, this is where you grab a bolt. All right, if you had a bolt that you had to loosen up, you grab it. Okay, you could work it if it's not too tight. But if I'm busting a bolt like on my car, on my motor or something, you know how much torque you had to put on your engine, that would break off those tips in a heartbeat. So I use this for smaller things. It's kind of cool. It's the settings on it are pretty. You get it's like metric. It's set up for metric and American or standard. This one's kind of cool too. And a lot of people ought to have these. There's another one I have too. I forget where it's at. It might be out in my other shop, but this one's a combo tool. So you got a pair of pliers there, right? Guess what? I can figure out how to use it. There it is. Wire cutters. You see that? Wire cutters. Now, and all you do is you lock that. Now you got wire cutters. Pretty cool, huh? So usually I've got an extra set, but that's pretty cool. I like that. That's one of my favorite tools. To me, this is kind of like a Swiss knife, pocket knife. They need to make more of those, to be honest with you. Now, we're going to get into a little bit of woodworking in here. I want you to guess. I want you to guess what this is. Okay, so any of you guys know what this is, all right? Yes, this drill goes with it. So give me, let me know what you guys think of that one. Hey, Midnights. Hey, Shay, you've really been doing a lot of work there. Everybody say hi to Shay. She's awesome, man. She's always, that Midnight Scroller lady, she's just off the wall. She's worse than me with her HDAD. You know that. Well, John is too now. I guess he's crocheting. I can't do that. I want to go there. I do trains, planes, and automobiles, and woodworking. And anything else I can find. And golf. So, okay, so what's that? What is that? This is a pocket drawer. Now what you do, you clamp it on, I can find a piece of wood. You clamp this on like this. Clamp on, clamp off the clamper. Oh, I love Ronco tools. I used to have a bunch of them. I think I still do too. Remember the glass cutter? The Ronco glass cutter? I had one of those. Oh, for the longest time ago. Well, see, now I've got right behind you in the corner is a tile saw. I love it. Great, it works great. I use that to cut glass, but you put that in here and you take a drill and you drill it. Now, if you set this up right, when you go and drill through, it shouldn't go past that. See, whatever you're drilling, the way this is set up, this stop here is to stop that drill from going all the way down into the aluminum. And what that is good for, if you're making furniture, and I've used this on occasion, if I need to make stuff real fast, I use this. Because what happens is, you could do this real quick and then put some screws in it, and you're done. Instead of waiting for drilling holes for dowels or for biscuits, and letting the glue dry, and all of a sudden, bang, you're done with it. So that's that. Okay, so these three are actually, I hate using these things because they're not really professional, but dowels. This one is more. These are for drilling dowels. Now there are different sizes. There's three different sizes there, and you put it on something like this, and you drill it. Just depending what the size is. Now I've got to do some work on my here this. So the problem I have is I have to reset the jig. But I'm not going to use it on this. I'm going to freehand this. I'm going to have to make a jig for this specifically to one table that I'm making. But I could do it with this. Now, the problem I have with this is the size wood I'm using. This is 5/8 thick. And it's 2 inches wide. So you got to be careful when you're drilling a hole. So what I'll end up doing is, because I'm going to have to move this twice, but the width, I plan on doing one about 1/4 inch from the edge on the other side. Plus I'm doing an angle. Show you. 5% angle. So when I'm cutting this angle, all right, the wrong way. Nope. That's the other thing. I have to make sure I do this right. So that the pitch of this thing, if you see it, the pitch. So when I drill this, it has to match this, right? It's going to be a little bit of an angle, or is it? No, I'm just going to go straight in. I'm not going to pitch that. So the idea is I'm going to have to go one further than the other, but it'll be fine. I've done it before. I hate doing it half-assed because I don't have a jig set up for that. And the only reason I don't is because I'm only making one. So that's for those. Now, all three of these have the same thing in common. Now there's another one I want to bring out. Hammers. I felt like getting hammered tonight, you know. I did have some apple juice with some rum in it, so there you go. All right. Now, I used to use this all the time, and anybody that's done the kind of job I did before when I was first starting the trades knows what this is. And I'll let you guys guess what it is, but it's a waffle on this end. It's an axe on this end, and this is a measuring tool, and so is this. You can use it for a couple of things, and you used to use this before they started coming out with air guns a lot. You use this, and you also use it, utility knife. So what's that for? That's a hammer. And you kind of use it high. You always use it when you're high. Okay, so everybody left. Never mind. This is a roofing tool. And so you use this to measure your shingles. So let's just say what you would do is you would put this on a shingle here. You butt up the shingle to one end and you hit another shingle, and that tells you where that's a setup for certain size shingles. And then you can cut it with this, if you need to cut it. When you make your flaps or your top part for the ridge tops, you use this. You also get high. No, you can get hammered. No. Okay, so this one's pretty simple, but it's not just a hammer, okay? Looks pretty beat up, doesn't it? See, I got rust on this because it is sitting in the basement. Look at that. That's a tack hammer. Yeah, this is also This is a welding hammer. It's basically a slag hammer. All right. So you knock off when you're welding, you knock off all the weird, the imperfections in your welding job. That's what you get all the excess with. That one right there. Oh, and I got another one. Here's another one I like. I wasn't sure when they came out with this if this was good or not, but that is a Craftsman hammer. Okay, so but it's kind of special. Now, one thing is underneath here, there's a magnet. All right, there's a magnet in there, and it's an indentation that goes in here. So what you would do is you would take a nail here and put it in here. Oh, you got it on there. You just tack it. Boom, you're ready, right? Then, if you want to use this, it's also a pry bar. Regular hammer. That's pretty cool, huh? Usually I have this down because I got a little room in that thing. That is that actually works pretty good, but this is heavy. All right, so when I was little and I was learning how to do the trades, one thing I learned is you don't want. Oh yeah, by the way, this is also it doesn't have waffles on it. It's also like a shiny tip to it. And I'll tell you right now, you're better off getting this, etching it yourself on a grinder or something, because when you hit a nail, a finish nail, it'll be like finish nails. It'll slide off. If you don't, I mean, you can. I've used both, but these I prefer to use the ones with the waffles on it. Only thing is, don't miss. Don't miss. You'll screw up your fingers, your thumb or whatever. Been there. So, all right. Well, the other thing is Dremels. All right, I have a Dremel set here. I've got a couple of them. Now, the thing about Dremels is they came out with a new version of this. Every time I turn around, they come out with a new version. But I have all this stuff that's in here that I can use. Now, most of the time I use this stuff on a model. Because I'm working on the trains, I got to work on the houses and stuff, right? So, that reminds me, I think they've got a bunch of this stuff here. This excess stuff. This is supplies. All these. It's kind of like your router set. Same setup, same idea. I have a lack of routers right now. Router bits I have to get. So the only drawback about this is getting it back into place. Okay, so this one I got over here. This is my pride and joy. It's one of the better ones. I got all these fancy gizmos, but this Dremel is I use this a lot. Now, if you're doing carving, you can use this on your bowls and stuff. You got to be careful though. This really takes off stuff really easy. And then, if you really want to get technical, see, and usually what I'll do is I'll put this part in the side of this, and I'll put that in here so that I can move around. It's kind of like, okay, I hate to say this because I always hate dentist office because I always go in there, but it's like the tool they use when they're grinding your teeth down, and it sounds like it too. Although there's a friend of mine, okay, he's got the ultimate. He actually has, I don't know if it's an actual dentist one or not, but it's got more high-powered stuff. It's run by air compression. And that thing whizzes. I mean, it's got a lot more RPMs than this does. And it's really good. So, anyway, I've got adapters. Now, the other thing that's cool too is, I can get this back in here. The other thing that's cool about this is that there's so much of a wide selection. Now, I don't know if John or Midnight Scroller uses these. Anybody that does crafting uses these. That's the one to use. You use. I mean, I love using these things. Now, when I'm doing model building in my train room, that a lot of times I'll do trying to um, make windows, and I'm in the process of trying to make a forestry setup. And some of the small buildings I'm building, it really, I mean, I need it like a magnifying glass to see what the heck I'm doing. But yeah, so I'll have to show you that. So anyway, I'm in the process of making this. Let's see if you can see that. Right there. That's a walnut bowl. It's about 11 and a half inches wide. And I'm still working on it. I just didn't want to get dusty. Today has been a long day for me. I haven't been feeling that good, so it's one of those down days. And plus, part of it is because I lost my dog, so I'm like, and that was about a month ago, and I'm still affecting my so. Anyway, there's my other project. Okay, so when you come in here, I'm in the middle of doing this. And some people don't like trains. I get it. But this is what I've been working on 10 years. No, a lot longer than that, 12 years, I think. I've been working on this layout. I just got to the point last year and this year to building this. I had the layout already. I just didn't start putting all the stuff on it. And it's kind of getting dusty. I have to clean this up. I'm going to be taking the tracks apart, the tape off here soon, so I can run the trains on it. So the kids in the neighborhood come down and play with them. So, but this is my other hobby. I have an HO up there. I've got the O gauge, which is in Lionel. That's as old as I am. That's mine. My dad gave to me when I was a kid. And no, I'm not getting rid of it. Somebody asked me to buy it. No. They're going to have to get it after I die. So that's my pride and joy. I think that's the only thing I have left as a kid. But anyway. So here's what I'm doing. Okay, just so you know. I'm going to start up another YouTube channel. I have one already, all right? But it's going to be a train channel for stuff like this. So it's going to be a while before I can do live versions of stuff. I know people don't like watching me when I'm doing this because like now I got only 2 people watching me. So again, midnight and Herb's guys, Midnight Scroller and Herb's, they were regulars, and so was John and all these other people, but they all left. So that's because I don't have anything interesting, and I'm not crocheting. I mean, how come they can sit there with a crochet and watch them, and then they don't want to watch what I do? I'm like, oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm working on this. At the same time, I'm working on that. As I get to both rooms right here. And I want to get this done for Christmas so that the kids can come in here. Now, the idea here is, this is where I have a lot of wiring to do. That there will be lit up. All the houses will be lit up. It'll have lights in them. The shaft up there where you can see where I've got the blue tape in front of, that one there, that tunnel, there's a mining shaft, but it also has a train that comes out. And it comes through here. There's a little train that goes through. It stops over there. It doesn't really go anywhere. It goes from one end to the other and back. But the idea is it's going to be a mining train and a tourist train taking them to the castle. That, I don't know where I'm putting that yet. But see, this is what I'm talking about, working on stuff. That house up on the top of this hill, that's going to be a forestry lookout tower. It'll be up higher. I'm going to have to build stilts in it and build a platform for it. And there's going to be a fire station down here. I'm going to put trees, pine trees in here. And I wanted to go like back here will be. And my idea at one time was if I could get enough fire equipment. Here's the problem: I can't find any forestry equipment in this size. It's N gauge, it's small. But my idea was to do some like I've got mini airplanes or make them. I've got one, but I was gonna make it like there's a fire back there, and have like little things rigged to it to where it looks like there's fire burning and fire in the sky. And I was gonna put some red lights in it and make it look. And there's a smoke machine I could put on the end of it. If I drill a hole and I do it right, I can put the light and the smoke machine right next to each other. So there you go. I haven't figured that part out. The hardest part really is the wiring right now. I got the wire off of that track is down, but it doesn't go too much further because I have to wire this to a separate one. See, what's going to happen is I've got three controllers now. There's one set of tracks, there's two set of tracks, and there's three set of tracks over there. That's not counting where the roundhouse is going to be. See, that's the other thing right here. My biggest problem is this baby, because I have to get it to go back in here. So the rest of this switching stuff is fine, but there's these blocks that you have to put in. This block, and I can't remember how to do them, so I have to refer back to all this information I got, which is a pain in my head right now. So anyway, that's my share, and that's my shop. So I'm going to say thanks for watching the Dutchman's Wood Shack. I'll be on Thursday doing some woodworking stuff. Stay tuned. I'm going to be like New Yankee Workshop. Oh yeah, I'm going to take. I posted something on my on this channel on Norm Abrams and why they took this old house and did what they did to it, and they got rid of the New Yankee Workshop. And the guy that owns it, the guy's name is Nourish. It was his house. He's the director of all that. And there you go. But there was a reason behind it. And my friend Gerald could tell you that too, because he's done TV programs, the Appalachian Heritage Woodshop. Check him out. I learned a lot from this guy. I consider him my mentor, actually. I love listening to watching him. I had a chance to go to his shop. I had a great time at Gerald's shop with him and his wife, and also my wife too. So we had a good time. I hope to go up there soon again. But anyway, you guys, you have any questions or comments, leave them. And again, subscribe to me. Thanks again, guys. God bless. I really do. And any information you can give me, one way or the other, subject matter, I need to know. All right. Thanks again. God bless. Have a great evening. Look for me on Thursday.